My parents invited me to a fancy family dinner. Then my father announced, "We're cutting you from the inheritance. You've never deserved it." Everyone laughed. I smiled, took a sip of wine, and quietly left. 2 days later, their entire world came crashing down. My parents have always favored my older brother David, but I never expected them to turn my disinheritance into a spectator sport. They invited me to a high-end steakhouse downtown, renting out the entire private dining room. The whole extended family was there. Aunts, uncles, cousins, even my grandfather's old business partners. I honestly thought we were celebrating my father's upcoming retirement. I was wrong. Halfway through the main course, my father tapped his crystal wine glass with a silver fork. The room went dead silent. He stood up, puffed his chest out, and looked directly at me with a cold, condescending glare. "I have an announcement," he said, his voice booming across the room. "After reviewing the future of this family and our company, I've decided to leave my entire estate and the business solely to your brother David." He didn't stop there. He wanted blood. "You've never been a team player," he sneered, pointing a finger at me. "You've always been selfish. You've never deserved a dime of my money. Consider yourself completely cut off." My brother smirked, swirling his drink. My aunt covered her mouth, but I could hear her giggling. Soon the whole table was laughing, whispering, and looking at me like I was garbage on their expensive shoes. They expected me to blow up. They wanted me to scream, cry, or beg so they could call me unstable and justify their cruelty. Instead, I picked up my glass of Merlot. I took a slow, deliberate sip, savoring the rich taste while maintaining absolute eye contact with my father. I gave him a warm, genuine smile. "Congratulations, David," I said quietly. I stood up, dropped a $100 bill on the table for my steak, and walked out of the room without looking back. By the time I reached my car, my phone was blowing up with texts from cousins calling me a coward, a failure, and a sore loser. I didn't reply to a single one. I didn't need to, because my father had just made the most catastrophic mistake of his life, and he was completely oblivious. What nobody in that room knew was that my father's manufacturing business had been drowning in debt for 5 years. He was incredibly arrogant, obsessed with appearances, but terrible at actual business. 2 years ago, when he was on the verge of bankruptcy, he secretly begged me for help because I work in corporate restructuring. I fixed his mess, but to keep his doors open, the bank required a guarantor with pristine credit and liquid assets. I co-signed his massive commercial line of credit. However, my lawyers inserted a strict cross-default provision in the contract. If my father ever removed me from the family trust or severed my legal ties to the estate, the multi-million-dollar loan would immediately default. He was so blinded by his ego that he completely forgot the paperwork he signed. 2 days later, on a Tuesday morning, the dominoes fell. By legally severing my ties to the estate, he triggered the default clause. The bank froze his corporate accounts at exactly 8 a.m. By 10 a.m., his suppliers halted all shipments due to bounce checks. At noon, I officially withdrew as his legal guarantor, transferring all the toxic debt squarely onto his personal assets, including his house. My phone started ringing at 1:15 p.m. It was my father. He called 9 times in a row. Then came the frantic texts. "Please pick up. The bank is seizing the warehouse." "What did you do?" "Call me back right now. We are going to lose the house. You have to fix this." And my brother texted, his arrogant tone entirely gone. "Bro, please. Dad is having a panic attack in the office. They're locking the doors. We have nothing." I sat on my couch, watching the notifications roll in. I finally decided to reply to the family group chat where they had mocked me just 48 hours earlier. I didn't send a long paragraph. I didn't explain the contract or the bank clauses. I just sent one single message. "Enjoy your inheritance, David." Then I blocked all their numbers, poured myself another glass of wine, and enjoyed the beautiful silence.